What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to Newcom's YouTube channel. Today we have the unboxing and review of the Rapoo V360. This is a super lightweight mouse made by Rapoo, who is adept at making budget-friendly gaming peripherals that have an excellent bang for buck, and this one is a pretty unique looking mouse. I would even argue that this is as unique or even more unique than the Rapoo VT950, which we already have a video on right here, by the way, which is Rapoo's top of the line model that has a screen right here behind the clicks. Because of this perforated look and all the different customization options that this mouse gives you. Speaking of the customization options, here's some of the things that you get in the box. Well, here's all of the things that you get in the box. So what we have here, by the way, so the reason for this perforation on the back plate as well as these side panels is to reduce weight, or at least that's traditionally what the reason for these perforations have been on gaming mice. If you want to bring down the weight, you got to shave off as much as you can from the body of the mouse, and this is one of the ways that they have done it, or one of the ways that they mainly use to reduce the weight of the mouse. So the point of this mouse is to be lightweight, and it is. And here's some proof. Alright, so it's okay, it's not at 0. Let's make it. Okay, so it's at 0. Okay, no, that
2 hours later.
Okay, it's finally at 0. So let's just put the mouse on it without. Okay, let's make it the lightest possible by putting in all the perforated sides as well. And by the way, this is how simple it is to disassemble the mouse. Okay, it's giving me 76 grams, which is right up there with some of the lightest mice there is available on the market. So 76 grams is pretty good, really good if you ask me. Now let's swap out the sides to see how heavy potentially you can make this mouse. And one thing to note is that this non-perforated backplate actually contains a counterweight inside of it. So if I just manage to take it out, hopefully without breaking it. Okay, there you go. You got 2 counterweights inside. I think both of them are 5 grams, so each one is 5 grams. So removing this will just give you the non-perforated backplates, but you can add these to make it a little bit heavier. So we're gonna do that. All right. I have to recalibrate the scale one more time. Okay. So 87 grams. Still very light, but definitely substantially less light than if you were to use the perforated back plates and the perforated side plates. So that's a pretty substantial difference, a substantial amount of customizability that you have at your disposal. And honestly, I think it looks good like this too. It's like super subtle with no branding here. Usually you have all the branding for mice right here, but because you already have the V Pro or the Rapoo logo on the left click, this back looks exquisitely subtle and minimal looking, which I quite like. So I'll set these aside for now, which is probably the reason why you're getting this, because I mean the perforated look is definitely more unique, but I have to hand it to Rapoo. This is a pretty understated look, even though there's nothing particularly unique about this backplate other than the fact that there's no logo on it. So kudos to that. I really think this is a very good looking mouse, and another reason why I think that is the case is if I bring up the software. So this is the spectrum cycling lighting mode, and I can also put it on the breathing mode. So it breathes through the different colors. I don't know what's wrong with the scroll LED, scroll wheel LED. Pause. I know what the problem is. So one thing that you guys need to be aware of is that I was a little confused when I first started to play around with the mouse and the lighting settings. So you can see here that the lighting zones seem to be acting independently. That's because they are. And I didn't know about that initially because I didn't know what these two buttons did because they were Chinese and I can't read it. And then I realized that this right toggle or this right button is for the scroll wheel lighting, and the left one is for the LED strips at the back. So if you want to, for example, use the spectrum cycling, you're going to have to pick the spectrum cycling on both of these different tabs for them to sync up. Otherwise, you can treat them as individual lighting zones, which could be fun for some. But yeah, this was a little confusing for me, so hopefully that clears things up before you are confused using this software. And then also the more like crazy color cycling, rainbow effect, you also have that. You can adjust the breathing speed, you can adjust the intensity of the light. Maybe you want to bring it down at night. But yeah, you have all the customizability options for the light. And also you have some macro functionality. And I have, for example, set this button to just show the desktop, show and hide the desktop. And I think you could see the difference in lighting when I pressed it. Yeah, this is a show hide desktop, and of course I've set, well, not of course, but I am used to setting this button as the escape button on the mouse. I find myself using this only, and I'm never really pressing escape. And of course you have the DPI up and down button. This mouse is capable of 100 to 6,200 DPIs, and it indicates when you are switching the DPI. So 6,200 DPI might not sound like a whole lot in the current marketplace of the current mice on the market, but I assure you, you will not be needing any more than 4,000. Like realistically, this 6,000, this like DPI race is a little ridiculous. You really don't need nearly as much as, like, I don't know, 10,000 DPI, 12,000 DPI, 15,000, 25,000 DPI. On a 1080p monitor, you'll be very comfortable with 1,000. On a 2K monitor, like the one I have in front of me, 1,500 is stretching it when it comes to like comfortable DPIs. And then I'm sure if you have like a 4K monitor, if you're one of the lucky few who has a 4K monitor, you'll struggle to push beyond 2,500. I think the maximum possible amount of DPI that you can actually tolerate is 4,000. So 6,200 DPI is more than plenty. And I found no issues in the tracking. It's pretty fast. It is wired. It has a nice braided cable with a gold-plated USB end, which is a gimmick, but it still looks nice. So I'm not going to fault them for it. And yeah, but really, why you're getting this mouse is either if you're looking for a super lightweight mouse, maybe for FPS games. I think the biggest market for super light mice are FPS titles, where you want the highest amount of precision with the littlest amount of movement and effort. So I think this can be a good option for people who are looking for super light mice for extra control, super sensitive to any type of movement. So the perforated backs and the perforated sides will give you that super light feeling. I also feel like this is just generally for anyone who looks like who's looking for a good-looking mouse with a good-looking combination of lighting. And it's just a good-looking mouse overall, no matter from which angle you look at it from the sides. You've got this accent going on from the sides, and of course the perforation looks really unique, and on the bottom you also have some perforations. So it's just an overall unique looking mouse, and this LED strip at the bottom is more than what most mice will give you. and there is a software that accompanies the lighting. The software could definitely use some work in terms of the layout. It's a little too complicated, a little unintuitive, but it still gives you all the options you need, particularly when it comes to the macro functionality, which is pretty easy to set up. Of course, you also have the option to set the DPI range and the different presets for DPI when you're cycling between them using this button. You can also choose the polling rate, which, I mean, you just set it at 1000 Hertz. Why not? And you also have a cloud sync functionality because why not? All my software give you that option. I don't find it particularly useful, but you also have the cloud sync option to, well, if you're moving this mouse a lot, you can sync the presets and the lighting and whatever to the cloud. Again, not a super useful functionality, but it's there and I can't knock them for it. It's there. It's an extra function. So, with that said, to wrap up this video, this is a beautiful looking mouse with functionality in mind, which is to be super lightweight. And also it gives you all the functionality you need and expect from a good premium gaming mouse, especially when it comes to the software. The software, like I said, a little lackluster in looks, but it's got all the functionalities that you need. And I can't say enough nice things about the design. The design, for me, is the main reason why you would buy this. Whether with the perforated back plates, the perforated side plates, or the other ones that come in the box, this is a really unique looking mouse, to say the least. I especially love the fact that there is no logo back here to give it an especially subtle look. With that said, we've come to the end of this video. I want to thank you all for watching and sticking around. Make sure if you like this kind of videos, you know, these kind of reviews, mice, keyboards, and computer peripherals, make sure you check out other Newcom videos. We've got a whole lot more on the channel, especially check out the VT950 by Rapoo. It's an upgrade in some senses to the V360. Of course, it's a heavier mouse. It is a wireless mouse, so already, if you're looking for a lightweight mouse, this is the way to go. But yeah, that one is more premium, more convenient in a way because it is wireless. So check that out too. And of course, a whole bunch more on the channel. But thank you once again for watching, and I'll see you very soon in the next video. Cheers.